Good afternoon, this is Josh Matthews. This is my final project. So I'm just doing a video of it in case everything else, and in case the code or anything doesn't show up, you can have this as a fallback. So this is all the code for each of the classes, everything that I was doing. So I'll just start off from base one. So this is what it's supposed to look like. As I said in the previous video, it's a text file processor. So here's all the code that does that. So this is my main class. It just calls the other classes and all the other methods and runs it off of that. This is the processor where it creates the file, puts text to the file. You can read the file. So I do have an option where you can read to list, and this is basically mostly for the programmer. So if ever when displaying all the text or anything that's inside the file, then I have this read to list option where it adds everything to a list, and then I also have this this clone option where it takes the list and it uses link to I think it orders it based in alphabetical order. I think this would put it from A to Z rather than Z to A, because this is descending. And then it puts it back into the list and returns the list. So you can, and then you call this method here read, which would, and then you would, I guess you would just read the list or put the list into whatever it is you're trying to display it on, like one of these forms or something. Or where's that at? Like, say right here. Anywho, this is my next class. So a couple of the things we were supposed to do, we were supposed to read and write from a file. That's what this processor does. It also has link in it. Another thing we were supposed to do was requirements. So a minimum of 3 classes, a generic collections. That's what the list is for. File IO, where it reads and writes from a file. Link, and then a user interface that's in place. No scrolling. So it has all that. I'll go back to the code so you can read everything. So that's all that. Each one, these are just my different forms where if you have, it has different options that you can select, and based on the option you choose, then it'll select a different form. And yeah. So that's everything. Program, processor. So I think this is everything. The couple of things to note, I did do it myself. It took me at least a week just to come up with a plan. A week straight, so well over 40 hours. Took me about a week to come up with an idea and exactly what I wanted to do, and then put it into action so I could get down and start coding everything. And I think that's everything. I'll go ahead and submit this just as a fallback in case you don't see any of my code. Thank you.